Welcome to episode 9, Music Tech with Mr. Sharp. In this episode, we'll learn about importing and exporting stems so that we can work with someone else using a different DAW system such as Logic, GarageBand, or Ableton. This episode is almost as cool as this new haircut. Included in this episode are a series of stem tracks where you will be able to create your own loops, and there is an infinite number of combinations that you can create. So let's get started. Okay, so let's begin by going to our Schoology classroom. We're going to open our music class, whatever that might be. If you're not in the North Hollywood music program, you won't have this folder, but you'll still be able to access those files that I mentioned. So let's open our Music Tech Multimedia Lessons and Assignments folder. Open our lessons right here. And we are going to Intermediate Soundtrap Accessible Lessons. Click that. And find lesson number 12, how to import and export stem tracks as well as create your own loops. Now, if you're not in my class, you can still access these stems by going to a Dropbox, which is found by clicking this link. If it's on YouTube, the link should be in the description. Here are the stem tracks I mentioned. Click download and download those to your computer. If you are in my class and you get a little confused regarding how to import, you can always just simply click right here and a Soundtrap assignment will open up with the stems already included, the session set up, ready to go. If we're going to do this by importing stems, again, we're going to download those stems, and next step is to open Soundtrap. Now, to import the stems, I'm going to begin by opening the studio, choose Music Project, and a very important step is to begin by changing the BPM before you import your stems. If you forget to do this, it's not the end of the world. I'll show you exactly what happens. I'm going to import file. I'm going to select all those files that I downloaded to my computer. And new tracks will automatically be created for each stem that you've imported. Now remember, I said to change your BPM before importing tracks, and I forgot to do that. If you forget, it's not the end of the world. You can still do it. However, when you change your tempo, this window will pop up. Audio adjustment. Would you like to adjust your audio data to match the new tempo? This can take some time. You do not want to do this because we've already set these tracks to a BPM of 80. So if we adjust it, we're simply going to transform all our audio by stretching it or shrinking it. So we do not want to adjust. Don't adjust. So now I have a BPM of 80. Let's just listen to see if that internal metronome in Soundtrap is lining up with these stem tracks. I'm going to start by just selecting this kick and snares track. I'm going to solo that. And notice the beginning of the track is pretty much blank until we get to about measure 11. See if I can turn up my metronome. Good, and it sounds like it's lining up with the internal clock of the Soundtrap project. Great. So now if I unmute this and play all the tracks together, it's going to sound like it doesn't really work, that I don't really know what I'm doing. Because all of these tracks are in time, but they're not designed to be played linearly from left to right all together. They're designed to include a series of loops. Each track you can create a dozen or more loops from. Let's listen to a little bit of my 808. Let's listen to this blue laser. Okay, let's start by creating a drum loop. And let's choose this bottom track that says RZD Kit 2. We're going to solo this, and let's just listen starting at measure 15. Alright, I like something around there, but I'm going to use cycle mode in my cycle bar to help me find a loop that I really, really like. So I'm going to move this around, measure 20, let's say 22. I'm going to shorten this loop bar, this cycle mode, to just one measure, turn it on, zoom in a little bit, and just hear what that one measure sounds like. And now I'm going to put my cycle bar right here at measure 25 and just listen to this loop and see if it works. And now let's see if I can add something else that's already pretty much lined up rhythmically, one of the drum tracks, to see if it works with that. Alright, so these knocks seem to line up as if it was a snare pretty nicely. And let's just listen to this beeps and snaps. Let's start with those three and create loops out of all three of those. So I'm going to put my cursor right here at 25, right click on the loop, and up comes this drop down menu. I want to find split region. Now notice I put the cursor right at the beginning of the loop. Now I have to move it and put it right at the end of the loop and do the exact same thing, split region. Okay, let's do the same thing with this Knox track. Right click right at the beginning of the loop, move the cursor to the end of the loop, right click, split region. I'm going to do it again here on my RZD kit number 2, right click, split region. Over here, split region. Okay, and now I am going to select those three sections and copy them. And rather than making a loop right here on the track and kind of making a mess, I am going to use this empty space here as if it's a new canvas and paste the loop right here. Do it again with this, copy, paste. Select this bottom one, copy, and paste. I also want to title it Mr. Sharp's Loops. And now to create loops, all you got to do is you're going to zoom in right here. And if you notice, at the end of each region, you have two options. On the bottom, you have adjust end. But if you hover up above, you see this little circle right there. That's your circle loop tool. So I'm going to make sure that the loop is selected, and I'm just going to pull it out. And it just repeats the region once, twice, or however many times you want it to loop. Let's just do 4 here. Pull this one out too. Let's pull this one out. Make sure it's right. Make sure we have snap to grid here. Okay, so we're going to do this again. Put your playhead at the right spot. Right click split region. Move the playhead. split region, right click. There's your region, copy, move your playhead, and paste. Alright, so now let's add something melodic. Let's listen to this blue laser. Not the blue laser, but that's the guitar. It sounds kind of cool. That's a totally different thing. Okay, let's just listen to the blue laser and find something we like. Okay, so now I'm back, and I've managed to create and find a loop for every single track. You at home, you only have to do 5 loops, and it could be all from one stem. It doesn't matter. I wanted to try and use every single stem, even though a lot of them musically don't necessarily work together. I did my best to try to make it work. Okay, so now I'm just about finished. I want to do one more thing. I want to record myself saying something, and this could easily be you playing something, and create a loop out of that. Alright, so I'm going to start a new track. Just have a vocal track here. Make sure I got my interface selected. I am going to hit record. Yeah! Oh. That's right. Right. And let's listen to that. Take this off so we don't have the echo. Yeah. Oh. That's right. Okay, so let's take that right, and see if we can create a loop out of it. Yeah. Oh. That's right. Right. A little bit at the end, and see if we got a loop here. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Oh. That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay, and now just to make it that much more entertaining, let's see if we can add some effects on here. To add some overdrive. That's right. And a lot of reverb. And how about a wah? Let's see what that sounds like. That's right. That's right. That's right. Now, cool. And notice the end of the loop, it has that little, I say something and it's not very clear. Let's get rid of that little, oh, you can see it. If I zoom in, the loop is beginning, so I just need to trim that right there. Let's go ahead and put a fade. Now, one last thing, because if we mix down this track and bounce it out as is, we are going to hear all this stuff in the beginning, this whole collection of nonsense. So I'm going to highlight all of this and just hit delete and get rid of it entirely. So again, I'm going to hit save, and that is the audio file that I want to mix down. So let's check it out. And there we are. So now all you have to do is create 5 different loops. And if you're able to use every single track, I'll be thoroughly impressed. Thanks, and I hope you enjoyed the video.